Assalamualaikum everyone. Today I've literally forced Hajra into this topic. Um, I've been sort of kidnapped, mugged for an hour and a half. I've been mugged on two other occasions. Hajra's had some
I don't know how you say it so casually. Like, she has this story and she wants to share this story, and it's very important for people to also know. But then I don't have such extreme stories, but really need to know your story.
But you've had interactions.
I
with
have
the
many interactions,
police and
but I want to know your story because when you
criminals.
told me, I had goosebumps, and I'm like, how are you so calm about it?
Yeah. So
when did you get kidnapped?
a few years ago, I was in Karachi. I don't want to give a bad name to Karachi, but unfortunately, I have been mugged over there 3 times. 3 times exactly. Two muggings were small, short incidences. I mean, I was with Faris and one of them. We had gone to the park, and then on the way back, we had our windows down, and we were in our jogging gear, whatever, and we had phones, burner phones, or the other phone that you sometimes have in Pakistan, because there's so many phone muggers over there. There's so many people that phone snatchers, ye hota hai wahan.
Spare phone.
So a spare phone, basically. I had us waqt, because it was a few years ago, I think I had like some Nokia, one of those bricks, and Faris had a BlackBerry, and we didn't have our iPhones with us, or our Samsung or whatever, those phones. And the guy, just because our windows were open and we were stuck at a traffic light. Jab aap traffic light pe khade ho jate na, to you're like sitting duck. So what Faris has started doing now, actually, he tries to, when you can, to keep a distance of a car or two in front of him, ताकि he can exit. He doesn't want to be stuck in a jam, at a traffic jam, because फिर कोई आ जाए gun के साथ, फिर आप क्या, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. So this guy just he came on a bike while we were at a red light, stuck his hand in the door with the gun.
Yeah.
And said कि mobile or bag. Thank God कोई बैग ही नहीं था, because हम बिल्कुल ही जॉगिंग के लिए निकले थे. I was like, देखिए ना, कुछ भी नहीं है हमारे पास. And he could see कि ये सच बोल रही है. She's not lying or whatever. So and then he said phones. So thank God we had these shitty phones or whatever, the Blackberries at that time. But Faris gave him this old Blackberry. He looked at it and he threw it back. He said, ugh. Thank God he didn't shoot us. He was out for a phone. Uski intention bhi ye nahi thi कि utne gusse mein nahi tha. He just wanted a phone. Threw it back at us in anger and went off. So that was a shorter incident. I have a much longer incident when I was taken for about almost 2 hours. I'll tell you that. But tell me, have you had any?
Goodness. I mean, listen, all the snatching and stuff, I've had a few. And when I say a few, I don't know whether I'm careless, I'm not aware of where I am, but they've been a mix of it. I mean, I've been on the tube twice, daylight, 1 p.m. Once I had a full cabin, loads of people. I had this guy who sat right next to me. I was wearing my gym clothes and just a hoodie, and my trainers were Chanel, but they were like all black. So really, they're not really giving any Chanel vibes. They were just black. Okay? So he comes and sits right next to me, and he goes like, where did you buy them? And then I looked at him, and I looked at people, and I have this problem. When I'm in certain situations like this, and they're multiple, I start having a conversation with people who are about to attack me or about to do something wrong. So मैं तो उससे बातें कर रही हूँ, because I looked up and I could see that no one's going to help. So I just have to do what I have to do. So in my mind, I was like, ठीक है, let the cabin open, and the minute it starts closing, मैं भाग जाऊंगी. तो तब तक मैं चलो इससे बात कर लेती हूँ. तो मैंने इसको कहा कि oh those are fake. Do you want them? I can take them off. He's like, how much did you buy them? How much did you buy them from? I said, I can take them off right now. I really was like, I'm taking it off. How much money do you have? I said, I have no money on me, but I can take these off. They're fake. But I looked at people's eyes and no eye contact. People they could hear everything, but they did not want to be part of anything. I just got up and I shot and I left. And Jessica cabin khula, I ran. But that was one. Again, it happened daylight. Another guy, and this time 1 p.m. my luck, the cabin was completely empty. So this guy comes up to me and says, I want your cap. Again, gym clothes. I really go simple. I don't, if I ever take the train, I do not wear anything. I don't wear jewelry. I don't wear earrings. I'm a complete mess. So he said, I want your cap. And then I said, why do you want my cap? And he said, I really want your cap. Drugged out, whatever.
Was it Chanel?
Yeah, it was Celine.
सनी तो शलन से कम नहीं पहन रही है
नहीं
madam
ना
ना
तो
यहाँ.
you know, and then I was like, and then I had a little conversation. Do you really need it? He's like, I really need it. I said, okay. And then I could see he was so drugged out. He wanted to really throw himself on me because he couldn't keep his balance. तो मैंने उतारी, and then the minute he put it on his sweaty head, I was like, अब तो गई ना, अब तो there's no hope. मैं मांगूंगी भी नहीं. Then he wanted to get some more stuff, but he fell on the floor because he lost his balance. He was probably drunk or whatever. The cabin opened. I ran out, and then I ran down to the station manager. Filed my complaint. They called me. They asked me what happened, and I said, this scenario so and so happened. The boy took my cap. They're like, what cap was it? Then I like, this is the cap. How much was the cap? Give me the price of the cap. And then I was like, why am I even having this conversation with someone? Because nothing's going to happen. And that's the problem. I feel so unsafe going out and about in London most days because nothing's going to be done about it. No one's going to protect you. The police, most they say is, we are really sorry for this. And that's about it.
You know, I was talking about Pakistan first, but in London, actually, we were sitting at a cafe in Hampstead when I used to live there. And it's a nice area. And they had people on these line bikes or, scooters or whatever, these electric bikes. If you have your phone and you're sitting roadside, up khare or having a coffee or whatever, you can't leave your phone even casually like this in your hand because they'll just whiz by, grab it from your hand, and that happened. Another time I was in a shop in Oxford Street and a phone, this, like it recently got...
Yeah.
And then, do you remember that I went to the Met Police?
Zara, by the way. Was it Zara, right?
It wasn't Zara.
No?
No.
But that's when mostly happens.
It probably would. It was a shop very similar to Zara.
Okay.
Whatever. It could be Zara. It could be. It could be any. And deep inside the shop, I was there because I had taken out my phone to show the person the outfit that I wanted. So I was like, this is on your website. I want this outfit. I put it back. While I'm deep in the store, it disappeared. So they checked their cameras, or they said they will check their cameras, but I don't know if it was an employee, if it was another shopper, who knows. They said it takes us a couple of days to access the cameras, and also you can't force them to, you can't say abhi chalne piche and just look at the cameras. You have to file a police report, so the store doesn't have to do anything until you file a police complaint. I actually went to the police station, filed a complaint, and got the Met to reply. Somehow they called me. I don't know what they were doing on a Monday night. They were bored. My phone... with iPhones, you have that Find My Phone feature.
Yeah.
So we traced it to Soho. So I had lost it or it was stolen in Oxford Street. So bilkul Soho is the next neighborhood.
Yeah.
It was there. And so... me and my cousin, we went there thinking कि कोई घर होगा और we'll knock and be like, my phone is inside. ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. It was like a lot of stores were there. Loading bays were there for the backs of the stores. Your Regent Street पे stores हैं. There's a loading sort of, area. It was somewhere there. And then the Met came. 5 police officers came. 5.
Phone ke liye.
Can you imagine? I couldn't believe it. I was like, they must be having a very slow night in the city of London. They came. They went into that loading bay. Then they explained that it's not that simple. Even if your Find My Phone is showing the phone there, it might not currently be there because they can do something with foil. They can do something with the phone where that's the last place it was tracked, but it could be somewhere else. So there's like some technical stuff which I don't fully understand. And after that, they said, we're here, we've asked around, we can't find it. And they went to the Five Guys across the road.
You didn't get your
their
phone.
Burgers. I didn't get my burger. I didn't get my burgers. I didn't get my phone. The cops went to get burgers. But I felt good that they actually...
tried.
They tried. And what else can they also do?
Oh my God, what else they can do?
What else
come
can
on.
they do?
We had back-to-back a lot of incidents just after COVID. I think it was just that everything was so tense, jobless people and so on. But we had this one incident where I was out with my friend Shumaila. We were just getting in the car. We were just crossing the road to get in the car. So the car was just literally there. So agar do haath milte to gaadi mein hum pahunch jate. It was that close. And we have these bouncers standing behind us, really tall guys. So we're about to cross the road and these 6 boys walk towards us. And they're looking like normal guys on a night out, well dressed and so on. Ha ha, hee hee, blah, blah, blah. They come right towards us, throw Shumaila right on the floor, grab her hand, snatch her watch off, and they run.
Wow.
And we're like, what is going on? What is going on? So then, obviously, the shock, it was so quick. We were screaming. but they were so loud and there were so many, so they ran off. And I look behind at these really tall men and I'm like, do something. Are you not going to do something? They're like, we're here to just open and close the door. We're not risking our life. But that's about it. And then उसने जब मुझे शुमाला ने कहा कुछ करो, I'm like, they can't do anything. What am I gonna do? I can't do anything. And we just got in the car and then drove around just to see if we could see them anywhere. But that's about it. What's the point? Nothing is gonna happen.
Yeah, like over here, people are scared to wear watches, wear jewelry, wear earrings. What if they pull your hoop earring off or up the kaan? You know, like they don't care. They'll do that.
People get stabbed. All sorts happen. But what I'm really interested in is your kidnapping story, because that people really need to be careful.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes what can you even do? That's, I think the scariest thing is how helpless you feel, and you know, in that moment you're just, you know, what can you do? I just, you know, I don't even know. I mean, I can think of some things, but so what happened was in Karachi, in defense, on the, I don't know if you know the Gizri bridge, it's this bridge. So we were driving. We had dropped off a cousin after shadi, so it was late. It was 2-3 a.m. You know, shadi mehndi ke baad. We had dropped off a family member at a certain place close to Kimari, or rather my Karachi ke paas, near Boat Basin, if people know in Karachi. And over there, the police had looked into our car. Sometimes they do these checks, ke raat mein who's driving, you know, who's in the car. So the police had checked us with torches, literally, and they were thinking, gaadi mein kaun hai? So sometimes I think, is police involved? Were they? I don't know. After that, we were on the bridge, and a car, I think it was a white Corolla, came zooming. 2 cars came zooming. One came in front, and one was at the back. So we had to stop. In fact, we hit the car because एकदम से वो तेजी से गाड़ी आई आगे, उसने रोक ली, पीछे भी रोक ली. Bunch of men jumped out, and it was me and a friend of mine. He was a guy. Now, I think that our very quick thinking and not panicking and the gift of gab, like the way you were saying, you immediately said, "Arey, they're fake." Like without even thinking, you said they're fake and please take them. You went into that somehow, I don't know, like survival mode, if you want to call it. That happened with us. Now imagine if you started crying and started, breaking down. I don't know what would have happened. But immediately my friend said, the first thing he said, because we were just friends who were at a friend's shadi, he said, we're married. Because sometimes, literally these guys think कि ये लड़की हराम है या हलाल है. अगर ये एक नामहरम के साथ बैठी हुई है, if she's sitting in the car with someone who she's not married to, and it's not her brother or father or chacha or whatever, then she's fair game. She's right. She's okay to rape. Or Allah bhi, I swear to God, your mentality कि even God will not, even God will not crucify us because ये तो वैसे ही, this girl is fair game. Literally, this is the mentality कि अगर आप रात में किसी के साथ बैठे हुए हैं और आपका नाम महरम है, आपको अगर हमने रेप भी कर लिया तो खुदा भी हमें माफ कर देगा. There is this mentality. So the first thing they even asked, and it was literally the same time, they were like, शादीशुदा है? अगर नहीं होते ना तो फिर पता नहीं. So we managed to convince them immediately. I guess we've done a lot of dramas and this theme comes up or whatever, we were like, we're married. They said nikah nama kahan hai? Literally, and we were like, oh, ghar pe, like we were not married, we were just friends, but we were like, nikah nama hai, please take us home, our parents will give you the nikah nama and take whatever you want. iPhones bhi hain, dono ke iPhones the, watch hai, अच्छी सी watch है, ये भी ले लें, पैसे नहीं थे इतने ज़्यादा, लेकिन जो भी है आप please ले लें, हमारी शादी हुई हुई है. And you know what, we were lucky that this was a friend of mine who was also an actor, so we had clothes in the car. So it looked like a शादी, because कपड़े क्यों होंगे आपकी गाड़ी में ना, like टंगे में. So we were like, देखिए हमारी dry cleaning भी है. Thank God they didn't recognize me, anyways. So we were like, take it all. So they somehow believed, acha theek hai. They kind of believed, ki, acha, and you know what I said? I said, I'm pregnant. I wasn't pregnant. I said, I'm 3 months. I said, I'm pregnant. 3 months ki baby hai. Agar aapko kuch, because at 3 a.m. I'm not just thinking, ki, are we going to be alive? I'm thinking, are they going to touch me? Are they going to rape me? Are they going to take me somewhere? You're thinking a million things, and there's all of that. So all of that was going in my mind, that how do I save myself? I would rather be shot than be, I don't want to go through that. Nobody does. But it was so scary because there was like 5 men. So I was like, I'm pregnant, I'm 3 months pregnant, I'm a new mom. So up to you. We're married, we have a baby on the way. Aapko kya karna hai? That did soften them. It actually made a difference.
Okay.
Then, so this really scary looking guy decided to come in the car. He wanted to drive. And so he took my friend out of the front seat and made him go in the back. He was very scary, this guy, but he couldn't drive an automatic. Thank God. Because I was like, oh my God, if I'm sitting in the front with this guy, मैं तो यहीं खत्म हो जाऊंगी.
Drive an automatic.
Some guys can't. They actually couldn't. This man couldn't drive an automatic. So then he switched with a less slightly scary looking, because you know, you get intimidated by the persona also. Anyways, they switched. They put another boy in the back with my friend with a gun on him. So they had two guns. So gunman is sitting in the back with my friend. A gunman is sitting in the front with my friend somehow managed to negotiate, saying कि दूसरी गाड़ी भी और इतने सारे आदमी अगर हमें follow. Basically, we were talking so much and we were like पैसे पैसे पैसे. We have a card. मशीन पे चलें, जितने पैसे हम आपको दे सकते हैं और प्लीज़ बस हमें जाने दें. जितने पैसे या आपने फ़ोन और घड़ियाँ तो ले लिए, just let us go. We managed to negotiate getting rid of the other 4 guys in the other car not following us, because he was like, it's too scary for us. It's too scary for her. So please, just you two come with us. I don't know how we managed to do all this. Acha, theek hai. So the other car went away. We have these 2 guys with guns sitting with us, taking us to a machine. Us waqt, actually this is an old story. Us waqt, I think Dolmen wasn't even fully built. So we were taken to an area where it was very dark, सुनसान. वहाँ ना कोई banks थे ना कुछ थे. We were going and I could just see कि बस वहाँ सड़कें, you know, and I was like, वहाँ नीयत खराब हो सकती है. You can, you know, what if the guy's like, you know, maybe I'll just do something with her and the other. You know, you never know. Gang, you know, I don't know. So when he started going there, I opened the door and I said, अगर आप वहाँ जा रहे हैं जहाँ ना कोई लाइटें हैं, ना कोई दुकानें हैं, ना कोई बैंक्स हैं, तो फिर, and I literally opened the door. I said, आप मुझे अभी मारते हैं. अगर आपको पैसे चाहिए तो वो आपको मिल जाएंगे, पर अगर आप वहाँ जा रहे हैं वहाँ तो कुछ है ही नहीं. सो यू फिर आप और अल्लाह के बीच में, यू नो, आई वाज लाइक, बिकॉज वो दाढ़ी वाला भी था तो कुछ, यू नो, नमाजी तो आई डोंट नो. सो ही सेड नहीं नहीं ठीक है. मैंने कहा यहाँ नहीं जाएं. आई लिटरली सेड यहाँ नहीं जाएं, आपको जाना है तो बैंक्स वहाँ हैं उस डायरेक्शन में, वहाँ चलें. सो वी वेंट देयर वेयर इट वाज वेल लिट अप. वेंट इनटू वन बैंक, wasn't working. Went into the second bank, ate my card.
Oh,
I'm not, I promise I'm not making up.
No, it just sounds like frustrating, like what?
Okay, we could be shot.
Yeah.
And my friend also got fed up. He's like, and he wanted me to go because he didn't want to leave me with 2 guys in the car. You know, he was thinking so much. I was like, this male friend of mine, he was like, I don't want to leave you ever in the car. So at the 3rd machine, he was like, I will go. Maybe you're like shaking at the machine. Why aren't they working? And he told them, one of you has to come out with me. I'm not going to leave both with her. So there was a lot of this intelligent negotiations happening, you know, and he managed to, on the 3rd bank machine, him and one of the guys, because he said, I'm not leaving her with 2 guys. They went out. The guy put on like something, which he had like a, you know, not a mask, but kuch tha, like a shawl or something around him, around his face when he entered the bank, because obviously the cameras, so he was very well aware of that. And then so I was left in the car while my friend went to the 3rd bank machine. This guy he tried to put on music on the radio. Tried to get into some mood. He was literally like, तो बताओ ना, like क्या असली शादी हुई है तुम्हारा, क्या वो है, क्या है, like मियाँ है. Then I started talking. I was like, ये मेरा, and I put off the radio and I said, ये music का time नहीं है अभी, because I was like, अगर ये music में कहीं और
drama लग रहा है वैसे,
पूरा drama था
पूरा.
music
का time नहीं है. I know.
Not making up one thing.
No, but
मैंने कहा म्यूजिक का टाइम नहीं, because I was just like कि म्यूजिक में कहीं ऐसे ऐसे ना, you know, कुछ मुझे नहीं पता करे. So and then I started saying, you know, पाकिस्तान का यही तो हाल है, आप लोग, you know, क्यों, like why are you doing this, and he's just laughing and I'm like talking. I thought silence was scary.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to keep asking कि, you know, शादी और ये और अच्छी लग रही हो. I didn't want that, so I just started yapping about everything, about my शादी, about my child, about how scared I was. पता नहीं क्या, just so that silence, till my friend came back. When he came back, we had some money to give them, and then they said, let's go to the tower area. That's I think जहाँ उनके अड्डे हैं और gangs हैं. They said, let's go there to where they're, and I said no, because I knew that if we're going to go to where their gangs are or where they're from, or, you know, their adda or whatever, then after that, you know, they could kill us, rape us, do whatever. And so we literally said, you have everything that we could give you. We can give you more अगर आपको घर जाना है, वहाँ और भी पैसे हैं, आपकी मर्जी. But अगर आपको वहाँ जाना है अड्डे पे तो फिर आप हमें मार दें, गन है आपके पास, आपको सब कुछ दे दिया है, अब आप हमें मार दें पर हम वहाँ नहीं जाएंगे. I was like, I'm not going to go, kill me now. And I literally said that and they thought about it and they just said, ठीक है, अपने सर नीचे रखो, and we're going to go and we'll throw the keys and the other car will pick us up. So literally they said, keep your heads down.
So that they couldn't see where they're
So
going.
we couldn't just
See
see
where
their
they're going.
license plates. Basically, I think they didn't want to, us to have anything. Whatever, I don't know, like they were also thinking on the spot, or they've done this before. Keep your heads down, we're going to throw the keys. And they did that. And we thought it was the luckiest escape of our lives.
But that is insanely scary. God forbid anyone goes through that. You know, like it's just bad. It's something bad. And obviously, most horrific stories that we hear, people end up being raped or killed, and that's about it. But that's, what a brave story. Wow.
I mean, honestly, I think the only takeaway I would be there is, it's just, you can't tell people, talk. Negotiate.
No.
You can't tell people. You don't know how they're going to be.
I mean, listen, when I was younger, I used to walk home, and I remember doing this so many times. And none of this that I'm saying is the right thing to do, because I don't know what you should do. You just end up doing things and saying things, but I don't know whether that's the right thing to do. But I just got away with it then. I used to walk, and every time that I felt that someone was following me, getting very close to me, I used to just turn around and say, I'm a police officer and you're following a police officer. Like
in here in
London. डरते डरते मैंने कहा, I'll turn around and say these things like that. Or once I remember I was again going back home, and this is before I was married even, and I had this boy who wanted to snatch my phone, and when you know it when they've attempted and वो हाथ में आता नहीं है. So then I ran to the nearest corner shop, and then I called my dad, and my dad came and picked me up. I've had my cars broken into also, and like things have been taken out, and then you go to the police and they really can't do anything. And that's again my stupid mistake, thinking I'll put stuff in the car. So don't leave anything in your car, because somewhere someone is watching you, right? And then your car will be broken into, and whatever valuables or whatever you have, they're gone. So like, keep your cars empty. Don't have anything around the dashboard. Just do not do that. And thinking 5-10 minutes is not going to make a difference. It will make a difference, because there is someone watching you somewhere. I have people sometimes like stealing stuff from my doorway, and I have like cameras on. Like there's this one woman that usko pata nahi kya padi hai, she's like, at least, I'm not joking, Annie, she's at least in her 70s. और पानी आता है, पानी का बॉक्स आता है, and then the woman, I don't know how she, मुझसे नहीं उठाया जाता, like even to come and
खुद भी उठाती है,
वो खुद उठाती है ऐसे, and then she's walking, I'm like, पानी है यार, like नहीं छोड़ते, कुछ नहीं छोड़ते. It's like, and then you don't know what to do, what to wear, how to go around. You just have to be really like, पहले I used to walk around London, I used to wear my AirPods, I used to really enjoy listening to music and podcasts. बिल्कुल खौले खफा, like पता ही नहीं ना, enjoying the weather, the whatever. No, I don't do that anymore. I just do not wear these headphones anymore like that. I really need to be, knowing my whereabouts, like who's walking, who's going, who's behind me. You just can't. You're very careful about where you're going. And that's Paris में मेरे साथ हुआ. I walked out of a shop. I had my bag. I had like a lot of people who just like spun me around somehow. And the next thing I know, my friends are like, your bag's open. I'm like, my bag's open? My bag wasn't open when I got out of the shop. They opened my bag, put their hand in, took the money out, and they were there. They were within me. They were mere saath hi the, but I couldn't do anything. It's a gang.
I think some of like I was living, I used to live near Victoria, where the Gatwick station is.
Yeah.
To go straight to Gatwick Airport, and the flight was like at 5 a.m. or something. So at 3:30 a.m., my house was so close to the station that I was walking. So I was with a suitcase, and somebody was coming towards me to take my suitcase. So I just stood in the middle of the road. But at 4 a.m., itni traffic nahi hothi, and I started screaming, hey, ताकि log aa gaye. Because Gatwick, because why would you walk at 4 a.m. with a suitcase? You shouldn't walk. You think it's London? It's not that safe. But I just stood in the middle of the road, in the middle of the traffic, jahan ek do bhi gaadiyan started going crazy, so that guy just walked away. So I did something. But I think the takeaway from this is, first of all, don't walk around with handbags that are open. You can be anywhere. You can be here, Monaco, you can be Pakistan.
Big cities, big problems.
Kahin bhi.
Big cities, big problems. New York, Paris,
Doesn't
London.
matter
They're
where
big
you
cities,
are.
wherever you are. It's so common. And
Don't walk around with
No.
your bag open. People will snatch. You won't even know. Thailand, mein, a friend of mine, her pocket got slashed. She had the phone in the pocket. फोन गया और एक कट था ऐसा कट कि she didn't even know because आप बाजार आप markets में हो या you know जहाँ भी हो and it's so busy and she had no idea and she's like oh they slashed and they took out the whatever cash but they're so sophisticated.
Yeah.
Don't leave things in the car.
No.
Absolutely
Silly.
not. बिल्कुल ही नहीं करें and you know yes लोग कहेंगे कि phone चोरी हो गया कितनी ख्वार है आप how much time do you have to go and report it to the Met but actually I guess I was that ख्वार and I did have that time. I tracked that phone for a month and from Soho it landed up somewhere in North London and a little bit outside to this address, so it was traveling and I was following it like a true crime horror on my phone. But I kept reporting to the cops every new location and they said this is good if everybody did that with their phones. Eventually one of those houses is a safe house. So, and you know, like it could be a bigger gang. So we do follow up when it's a house, right? If it's like a big commercial area or in the middle of Soho, it's very difficult. But if it's somewhere on the outskirts and it is a residential or, you know, like some kind of place, then we can maybe catch a gang.
Yeah.
So it is good to always report when you can. You know?
Yeah. And if nothing's done about it, but just learn from little tips where just don't be walking along. My niece comes to me and I sometimes very late. I said, I'm sorry, you can't take even the train back. I'm sorry. I trust you. I trust people, but I don't trust, like my people, but I don't trust strangers. And you just have to be really aware where you're walking. Don't not know where you're walking. Know what you have. Don't be forgetful. These things are very important. Where your keys are, where your money is, where your wallet is, and then don't carry too much also.
Don't carry too much cash. Wear fake jewelry. You know, in Islamabad, I was wearing my own wedding set too. And this is Islamabad, isn't it? One of the safest. It's one of the safest cities, especially compared to Karachi. It's much safer. I was wearing my real. अपनी शादी का jewelry set at my cousin's wedding and when we left Marriott where the shadi was we were being followed. So then we had to race to the police station and thank God the driver knew and then that's where we lost them. They were following us because they had seen this chamakti hui aurtein sitting in the front seat. So I think one of the things you could do is maybe wear fake.
I mean, my friend who moved countries, I'm not going to name her, she had a horrific time where Shadi ka ghar, they had loads of people from all over different countries and they were being noticed that in and out when they are like South Asian जब तैयार होते तो हम तो क्या तैयार होते हैं jewelry and everything whatever सारा जेवर निकाल लेते हैं locker से पहन लेते हैं whatever and we don't realize that someone's keeping an eye on you, right? Even when you're going home, it might be the safest place but people know where you live and where your stuff is. Broad daylight, their house door was broken in by like 6 men masked. They beat the hell out of each and every person in the house. The man of the house was traumatized, ended up in like it was bad. The scene was bad. And nothing left. Everything was stolen. Everything was gone. But the trauma it also left them and their children. It was not irreplaceable. They had to move countries. They just couldn't. They just couldn't do it anymore. So things can happen, God forbid, but being just a little extra careful somehow. And if everyone has, I mean, people have had stories and what they do and how they deal with it and what we can do to prevent, we'd like people to share those stories also, right?
Yeah, and you know that
like the phone being stolen from your pocket and cut and slit open, क्या कर सकते हैं आप? कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते.
In our house, we had 2 parrots. So these exotic, so we had gotten them, like one was a cockatoo, Australian cockatoo, and one was a macaw, so I think South American bird, and so my father loves birds.
Cute.
Yeah. So we had these as pets, and they're exotic birds, and they can sell for a lot, right? We're talking like lakhs.
Yeah.
So it was a time when there were a lot of painting going on in our house and some work done in the house. So बहुत in and out, you know, हो रहा था of like workers, and they knew the layout of the house and the timings of the people. थोड़ा सा आपको हो जाता है, पता चल जाता है, and these birds were on stands with chains. So at 3 a.m. I remember, I don't know why I was up and I heard the bird going quack, like making a sound, and then I remember it, and that was it. So what they had done is the next day when we all woke up, the stands were on the main road with the chain cut. So they had come, they had put them to sleep, you know, with some kind of
that's what the sound
chloroform
they made.
क्या होता है? yeah, so that was the sound of that last of the bird's last, call in our house, and they had stolen our birds. And then we were like, and then we even went to Empress Market. We'd be like, would they be here? Who knows?
Selling it.
We
Someone
didn't
somewhere.
find them.
Dogs were stolen in COVID time. Remember how dogs were stolen left, right, and center, and because everyone wanted a dog in COVID, right? So that was crazy. Protect yourself, people. Life is at a very difficult stage right now. People are really desperate for things, and I think the easiest thing that they know is just take it from you because you will just get another one, right? But they don't understand the trauma it leaves you, and they don't understand, like, if you have things or even valuable things, it's not just that, it's they might have memories. There might be a jewelry piece from your dadi or your nani or someone you cannot
That guy
replace.
doesn't care about
That
your
guy
dadi's
doesn't care.
jewelry
Na
piece.
pehno.
Na pehno. That's it. But do share your horror stories with us. And what you did to maybe get out of a horrible situation.
Yeah.
I hope,
Hope you guys had fun listening to these stories, and and learn from them, as at least maybe not even learn from them, but just be aware and be just
try to stay safe.
yes.
Thank you.